Kevin Owens has always been a problem in the ring, but now he's turning heads for what he did outside of it. New footage just leaked, showing the WWE star confronting someone believed to be a fan at an airport, and things got physical, fast. Was it self-defense, or a superstar snapping under pressure? Let's break down what led to the outburst, what fans were doing, and what Owens has been warning about for years. Kevin Owens claps back at obsessed fan. For decades, professional wrestlers have been dealing with fans in public spaces, but there's something about airports that creates a unique pressure cooker situation. Think about it. Wrestlers are often exhausted after performing. They're rushing to catch flights to the next city, and they're just trying to maintain some semblance of a normal life while constantly being on the road. According to research, airports have become notorious hotspots for what many wrestlers consider harassment. Why? Because they're high-traffic public spaces where fans know they can find their favorite superstars. And while many fans approach respectfully, seeking a quick photo or brief interaction, others engage in behavior that many wrestlers find intrusive and uncomfortable. The most common complaints from wrestlers about airport fan interactions include 1. Autograph seekers bringing large quantities of merchandise, often to sell signed items online. 2. Fans persistently follow wrestlers through terminals. 3. Invading wrestlers' personal space during travel. 4. Creating uncomfortable or even unsafe situations, especially for female wrestlers. Kevin Owens, known for his straightforward personality both in and out of the ring, has indeed been vocal about fan interactions at airports. In a recent interview, Owens expressed his feelings about fans approaching wrestlers at airports, particularly those seeking autographs for resale purposes.
Which inscription are you hoping people will find soon?
There's one that I wrote that I don't think anybody has found yet. It says, "Don't follow us at the airport." And that one's like, that's that one that people should take that to heart.
That feels personal.
Yeah, we love our fans, we really do. And what I do now at airports is I come and when they're all waiting for their autographs, I just go, I don't sign at the airport, but I'll gladly take a picture with you. And when I say that, 20 of them turn around and,
What?
In this candid moment, Owens reveals something many wrestling fans might not consider: the distinction between fans seeking genuine interaction versus those looking to profit from celebrity encounters. Owens continues to elaborate on this experience.
Yeah, so because they're not there to be fans.
Because they're going to sell it on eBay?
Yeah, which I don't really have a problem with. But I just got to the airport. I'm either tired, I go to work. So and sometimes, man, like when we get to an airport and it's 5 or 6 people, okay. But nowadays, we get there, 40, 50 people. Sometimes it feels like you're like they get around. You can't move. It's like it's overwhelming for me. And I know, like, I've seen it done like to the girls, and some girls have told me like it gets almost scary. And I know nobody that comes to the airport is setting out to do that.
What's particularly revealing about Owens' testimony is his acknowledgement that most fans don't intentionally set out to make wrestlers uncomfortable. However, when dozens of people surround a tired performer who's just trying to make their flight, the situation can quickly become overwhelming. Owens further contextualizes this.
They just want an autograph, whether they're gonna sell it or not, whatever. They're not trying to crowd somebody and make them feel like, hey, this is too much. But when there's 40 of you, that's what happens.
This is a crucial perspective that helps us understand the daily reality for WWE superstars like Kevin Owens. They're not just performers. They're individuals navigating the complex landscape of fame while trying to maintain some semblance of normalcy in their personal lives. This frustration built up and manifested when he had a verbal confrontation with a fan during a WWE SmackDown broadcast. On April 4th, 2025, during a WWE SmackDown episode broadcast on Netflix, Owens announced that he would miss WrestleMania 41 due to a neck injury requiring surgery. This was a heartfelt segment where Owens dropped his heel persona to connect with fans on a more personal level. According to reports, as Owens walked up the ramp after this emotional announcement, a fan shouted, "You're still which was captured on fan footage. Visibly upset by this comment during what was clearly a vulnerable moment, Owens turned back toward the fan and said, "Who said that? Was it you, yeah? Shut the f*** up." He reportedly also mouthed, "fuck you" before continuing backstage. This incident illustrates the emotional toll that negative fan interactions can have on wrestlers, particularly during sensitive moments. WWE quickly cut the camera feed to focus on Randy Orton in the ring, indicating this exchange wasn't planned. What's notable is that the wrestling community, including outlets like Gorilla Position, largely supported Owens and criticized the fans' behavior, recognizing the insensitivity of insulting a performer who had just revealed a career-threatening injury. Now, to properly contextualize Kevin Owens' experiences and reactions, we need to understand the broader history of wrestler-fan interactions. The relationship between professional wrestlers and their fans is a cornerstone of the wrestling industry, characterized by admiration, engagement, and occasional conflict. Wrestlers, as public figures in sports entertainment, interact with fans both physically, at live events, meet and greets, or public spaces like airports, and online through social media platforms. These interactions can be profoundly positive, fostering emotional connections and lifelong fandom, or deeply negative, involving harassment, abuse, or boundary violations that impact wrestlers' well-being. Owens also mentions a specific challenge wrestlers face: fans tracking their flights and intercepting them at inconvenient times.
And there's 10 people trying to get us to sign. And I had to say, now is not the time. Get away from us. We don't have time.
What's particularly troubling is Owens' next revelation about the lengths some autograph seekers will go to. Owens' willingness to take photos while declining to sign autographs reveals his attempt to distinguish between genuine fans and resellers.
But it says a lot when I say that. 5, 6 of them, maybe more, depending on how many are just, and they turn around. Okay.
Well, I feel like you just made the value of that one trading card with that inscription on it. That's the most expensive card.
There's another one that because sometimes they'll come up with signature, like something I already signed, and go, "Did you sign this? Is that yours?" And I look at it and I go, I mean, most likely it is, but it's just a scribble. It doesn't seem, it's not far-fetched. Someone just recreated it. So I wrote on the card, I signed it, and I wrote, "If you ask me if I signed this, I'll say no." This
hostile wrestler-fan interaction didn't just start recently. It has been a staple of professional wrestling life, dating back to the 1980s. The history of wrestler-fan confrontations. Throughout wrestling history, there have been documented physical altercations between wrestlers and fans, providing context for why wrestlers might be particularly sensitive about personal space and unexpected approaches from strangers. Professional wrestling operates within a unique framework where performers, portraying heroes, aka babyfaces, or villains, aka heels, deliberately provoke strong audience reactions. Historically, before the 1980s, kayfabe, the portrayal of wrestling as unscripted, was strictly maintained, leading many fans to believe the action was real. This increased the likelihood of hostile interactions between wrestlers and audience members who genuinely believed heels were villainous individuals. Even today, despite wrestling being acknowledged as scripted entertainment, the immersive experience can blur lines, prompting fans to cross boundaries by jumping barricades, throwing objects, or engaging in verbal abuse that elicits responses from wrestlers. These incidents typically fall into two categories: fan-initiated confrontations and wrestler-initiated confrontations. The consequences of such incidents vary, ranging from security interventions and legal action to suspensions, firings, or lasting reputational damage for wrestlers or promotions. Let's examine some notable incidents to understand this phenomenon better. In the early days of professional wrestling, pre-1980s, kayfabe was sacrosanct, and fans often believed heels were genuine villains. According to wrestling lore, longtime heel Ron Wright faced extreme fan retaliation in the 1970s when his small plane was reportedly stripped and set on fire by angry fans in Harlan, Kentucky. Old-school heels like Mad Dog Vachon and The Sheik recounted stories of fans attempting to stab them or attack them with weapons outside arenas, driven by the belief that their villainous personas were real. As wrestling evolved, incidents continued but changed in nature. In 1998, at a WWF house show in Berlin, after Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Triple H, a fan rushed the ring to attack Austin. Despite being Austin's on-screen rival, Triple H intervened, tackling the fan and delivering punches, with the referee also landing kicks. This incident, captured on fan-recorded footage, demonstrated how wrestlers would protect each other regardless of storyline rivalries. Another significant incident occurred during the infamous formation of the New World Order (NWO) at WCW's Bash at the Beach in 1996. A fan, enraged by Hulk Hogan's heel turn, hopped the barricade to confront Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. Nash and Hall quickly subdued the fan with punches, and security escorted him out. This moment highlighted the intense emotional emotional investment fans had in wrestling storylines, sometimes leading to impulsive actions. A particularly relevant incident occurred in 2011 with CM Punk on WWE Raw. Punk, playing a heel, escaped into the crowd after a match. Fans pushed and punched him, prompting Punk to strike a fan in retaliation, breaking the fan's glasses. Video later showed Punk hit the wrong person. The fan, Charles Schmidt, did not press charges, and Punk issued an apology, stating he felt surrounded and acted in the heat of the moment. This incident bears similarities to confrontational situations wrestlers might face in airports. In 2013, at a WWE live event in Cape Town, South Africa, a fan entered the ring during Randy Orton's promo and struck him in the groin, knocking him down. Orton kicked the fan before security intervened. The attacker, identified as Sheppo Sakabi, was arrested, later claiming he wanted to make a name for himself. This incident underscores how some fans seek notoriety through confrontational actions with wrestlers. More recently, during the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony in 2019, a fan named Zachary Madsen rushed the stage and tackled Bret Hart and Natalya during the Hart Foundation's induction. Wrestlers like Dash Wilder and Travis Brown, an MMA fighter and Ronda Rousey's husband, intervened, landing punches on Madsen before he was arrested. Madsen, an amateur MMA fighter, with a history of stalking, claimed he felt it was the right moment, demonstrating the unpredictable nature of fan encounters that wrestlers must be prepared for. These incidents help explain why wrestlers like Kevin Owens might be particularly cautious about unexpected approaches from fans in uncontrolled environments like airports. The context of these historical confrontations is crucial for understanding the wariness many wrestlers feel in public settings. Now let's focus specifically on airport-related incidents involving wrestlers. Airports present a unique challenge for wrestlers. They're public spaces where tired performers must navigate crowds after grueling schedules, often with little privacy or security. Roman Reigns faced a notable airport incident in 2017. According to Bleacher Report, Reigns was approached by a fan while traveling with his family. He politely declined to sign an autograph, citing his need for privacy during personal time. While this encounter was non-confrontational, it highlights the challenges wrestlers face in balancing public accessibility with personal life. Online reactions were mixed, with some fans defending Reigns' right to privacy and others arguing that public figures should expect such interactions. Seth Rollins has also spoken about fan harassment at airports, particularly during his 2019 Universal Championship run. In a podcast appearance on Talk is Jericho, Rollins described fans following him through terminals, often demanding photos or autographs while he was rushing to catch flights. He remarked, "I get it, you're excited, but airports are hectic. Give us a break when we're just trying to get home." Rollins emphasized that he appreciates genuine fans but finds persistent autograph seekers disruptive. Wrestling legend Ric Flair addressed airport fan interactions in a 2016 incident reported by Wrestling Inc. Flair was approached by a group of fans at an airport who were seeking multiple autographs, likely for resale. Frustrated, Flair refused and later tweeted, "Fans at airports with stacks of photos aren't fans, they're hustlers. Real fans just want a handshake." The incident highlighted a common complaint among wrestlers about fans exploiting their accessibility for profit. Female wrestlers often face additional challenges in these settings. Becky Lynch discussed airport fan encounters in a 2018 interview with Sky Sports. She described an incident where a fan followed her through an airport, repeatedly asking for photos despite her visible exhaustion after a long flight. Lynch noted, "I'm happy to meet fans, but when you're chasing me down at 6 a.m., it's a bit much." More recently, in 2023, Rhea Ripley was followed by fans at an airport who demanded autographs despite her objections. The Sportster reported that Ripley detailed an incident where a notorious fan, known for reselling autographs on eBay, followed her outside an airport after she declined to sign due to time constraints. She noted, "It's sort of an entitled thing when some fans expect us to just do it, and they start making a fuss if we say no." This experience closely parallels what Kevin Owens described in his interview. Perhaps the most extreme case of fan boundaries being crossed involves Sonya Deville, who faced a terrifying home invasion in August 2020. According to NBC News, Philip A. Thomas II, a 24-year-old fan who had been stalking Deville on social media for years, broke into her home in Lutz, Florida, with the intent to kidnap her. Thomas had planned the kidnapping for 8 months and came armed with a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, and mace. Fortunately, Deville and her guest, fellow wrestler Mandy Rose, were able to escape after a security alarm was triggered, and Thomas was arrested. While this is an extreme example, it illustrates why wrestlers might be particularly sensitive about fans knowing their whereabouts or approaching them in uncontrolled settings. The line between enthusiastic fandom and potentially threatening behavior can sometimes blur, especially from the perspective of performers who might have had negative experiences in the past. recent incidents and the evolving wrestler-fan relationship. Now let's explore the evolving relationship between performers and fans in the digital age and consider potential solutions to create more respectful interactions. Kevin Owens' experiences reflect a broader pattern of challenging interactions that wrestlers face with fans, particularly in public spaces. Let's explore some recent incidents that illustrate the complex dynamics of wrestler-fan interactions, beginning with Rhea Ripley's concerning experience in early 2025. On February 27, 2025, Rhea Ripley shared a disturbing incident during a video on Logan Paul's YouTube channel, as reported by Newsweek. On Valentine's Day, a female fan appeared at Ripley's home, standing at her door for approximately 15 minutes while smiling into the camera. This unsettling behavior followed Ripley's earlier plea on February 23, 2025 via X, where she wrote, "Shouldn't have to say this. Do not ever send fan mail to my house. That is by mail or self-delivered. That is 100% not okay, according to People." The incident wasn't isolated. Ripley had previously faced harassment at airports, such as in 2023, when a group of fans followed her, demanding autographs despite her objections, as detailed by the Sportster. Ripley, married to fellow wrestler Buddy Matthews and a women's world champion, was at a career high, preparing to defend her title against IYO Sky on Monday Night Raw following the Elimination Chamber in early 2025. Her public profile made her a target for fan attention, but the Valentine's Day incident crossed a significant boundary, invading her private space. Japanese WWE star Asuka also faced concerning fan behavior in early 2025. Able to respond. She also stated, "There is absolutely no possibility for others to interfere in my private life, and please don't have romantic feelings for me. It's meaningless, 100% pointless." On February 7, 2025, Asuka reiterated her stance, tweeting, "There are still people who have romantic feelings for me and are making advances. Please stop immediately," according to Cageside Seats. Asuka's tweets were a response to a stalker situation that made her feel endangered. She disclosed that she had contacted law enforcement due to the severity of the harassment, which included unwanted romantic advances, both online and potentially in person. The situation was serious enough that WWE and TKO Group, the parent company of WWE, took steps to ensure her safety, as Asuka confirmed on January 31, 2025. "WWE and TKO are taking action to protect me. I appreciate it," according to Cageside Seats. Perhaps the most extreme case in recent years involved Sonya Deville, who experienced a terrifying home invasion in August 2020. On August 16, 2020, at approximately 2:43 a.m., Philip A. Thomas II broke into Deville's home in Lutz, Florida. According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Thomas had been stalking Deville on social media for years, sending increasingly threatening messages, and had planned the kidnapping for 8 months. ESPN reported that Thomas parked his car at a nearby church, walked to Deville's home, and cut a hole in the patio screen to access the lanai. He waited there for 3 to 4 hours, watching and listening through windows. After observing Deville and her guest, fellow wrestler Mandy Rose, go to bed, Thomas entered through a backsliding glass door, triggering the home's security alarm. According to TWM News, Deville woke to the alarm, noticed the living room door was open, and initially thought Rose might have left it ajar. After finding Rose asleep, she returned to the living room, closed the door, and saw Thomas on the back porch. She screamed, "What are you doing? What do you want?" as he approached her, holding a knife and pepper spray. Realizing Thomas's harmful intent, Deville woke Rose. They saw him through a window, fled the house in a car, and called 911. Deputies arrived and found Thomas still inside the home, carrying a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, and mace. He admitted to planning to hold Deville hostage to answer all of his questions, intending to use the items to restrain her. NBC News reported that Thomas's obsession was evident in his social media activity, where he sent threatening messages to Deville. One message, sent while he was on her lanai, read, "Look outside, baby, by your pool. I'm here. I'm gonna kill that little beast you have inside with you," referring to Rose. Thomas was arrested and charged with attempted armed kidnapping, armed burglary, aggravated stalking, and criminal mischief. By April 2023, he pleaded guilty under a plea deal and was sentenced to 15 years in prison, followed by 15 years of probation, with orders to have no contact with Deville or her family and to undergo a psychosexual evaluation. Deville described the incident as profoundly traumatic, with lasting effects on her mental and emotional well-being. In a June 2023 interview with Maria Menounos, Thanos on the Heel Squad podcast, she detailed the aftermath. According to wrestling headlines, Deville experienced paranoia and insomnia, initially planning to return to her home out of stubbornness, but becoming uncontrollably shaken as night fell. She stayed in a hotel under an alias, barricading the door with a dresser, fearing Thomas might find her despite his arrest. The long-term effects were significant. She lived in fight-or-flight mode for years, struggling with fear and hypervigilance. Deville resided in a safe house temporarily and took additional precautions, such as carrying a firearm, which led to a 2023 arrest in New Jersey for an unlicensed gun, later resolved through a pre-trial intervention program, as reported by Fightful. These harrowing incidents, from Ripley's Valentine's Day stalker to Asuka's concerning messages to Deville's home invasion, represent the extreme end of problematic fan behaviors. While most fan interactions are respectful and positive, these cases illustrate why wrestlers might be particularly sensitive about their privacy and personal space. It's important to note that most fan interactions with wrestlers are positive and respectful. Many fans understand and respect the boundaries wrestlers set, engaging with them in appropriate ways that foster mutual appreciation. The wrestling community's growing support for wrestler boundaries on platforms like Reddit and X indicates an evolving understanding of the challenges performers face. The issue of airport fan harassment reflects broader challenges in the wrestling industry, where performers are expected to maintain accessibility while protecting their personal lives. The rise of autograph resale markets facilitated by platforms like eBay has intensified the problem, as collectors exploit wrestlers' public appearances for profit. Wrestlers' public complaints, amplified by social media, have sparked a cultural shift toward greater fan awareness of these issues. His experiences, along with those of colleagues like Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Sonya Deville, highlight the need for greater respect and understanding in wrestler-fan interactions. While these performers choose careers in the public eye, they deserve the same basic courtesies and personal boundaries as anyone else, perhaps especially in high-stress environments like airports or during their limited personal time. The relationship between wrestlers and fans is a cornerstone of the wrestling industry, and when it works well, it creates magical moments for both parties. When it breaks down, however, it can lead to stress, safety concerns, and unnecessary confrontation. By fostering a culture of mutual respect, the wrestling community can ensure that these interactions remain positive for everyone involved. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other awesome videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.